What if the reason your prayers for success aren't being answered has nothing to do with money, but everything to do with lust? You pray for blessings, you ask God for financial stability, opportunities, maybe even a breakthrough in your career or personal life. But at the same time, there's a hidden struggle, impure thoughts, secret habits, or choices you know don't align with your faith. You tell yourself, it's not that serious, everyone struggles with this. Yet deep down, something feels off. You're trying to move forward, but it's like you're spiritually stuck. One of the most overlooked truths in the spiritual life is that sin doesn't just affect your soul, it affects your direction. In Catholic teaching, lust is not a minor issue. It is one of the 7 deadly sins, and it distorts the way we love, think, and act. The Bible is very clear about the seriousness of lust. In Matthew 5:28, Jesus says, "Anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." This shows that lust is not just physical, it begins internally, shaping your desires and decisions. Many people separate their spiritual life from their daily struggles, especially in areas like purity. They assume God will bless them materially, even while they ignore moral discipline. But Catholic doctrine emphasizes integrity of life, that our actions, thoughts, and desires must align with God's will. Here are 5 biblical reasons why lust can block your prosperity, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. Reason 1. Lust clouds your judgment. When desire takes control, it weakens your ability to make wise decisions. Instead of acting with clarity, you act impulsively. Proverbs 6:32 warns, "He who commits adultery lacks sense. He who does it destroys himself." Poor decisions lead to consequences that can affect your future, opportunities, and relationships. Reason 2. Lust disconnects you from God's grace. In Catholic teaching, serious sin can damage or even break your relationship with God. While God's mercy is always available, unrepented sin creates distance. As Isaiah 59:2 says, "Your iniquities have separated you from your God." When you are spiritually disconnected, it becomes harder to discern God's will and receive His guidance. Reason 3. Lust redirects your desires toward temporary pleasure. God created desire for good, but lust twists it into something self-centered. Instead of pursuing purpose, you chase gratification. 1 John 2:16 reminds us that the lust of the flesh is not from the Father. When your focus shifts to temporary pleasure, long-term blessings often suffer. Reason 4. Lust weakens discipline and self-control. Prosperity in any form, spiritual or material, requires discipline, but lust thrives on impulsiveness. In Galatians 5:22-23, self-control is listed as a fruit of the Spirit. Without it, it becomes difficult to stay consistent in your goals, commitments, and responsibilities. Reason 5. Lust damages your capacity for authentic love. True prosperity includes healthy, meaningful relationships. Lust reduces people to objects rather than persons made in God's image. This contradicts Catholic teaching on the dignity of the human person. As a result, relationships become shallow, unstable, or even destructive. So what can you do if lust has been holding you back? First, acknowledge the problem honestly. You cannot overcome what you refuse to confront. Bring your struggle into the light through prayer and self-examination. Psalm 51:10 says, "Create in me a clean heart, O God." Second, return to the sacraments. Catholic doctrine offers powerful tools for healing, especially the sacrament of reconciliation. Confession is not about shame, it's about restoration. It reconnects you to God's grace and strengthens your soul. Third, guard your mind and environment. Be intentional about what you watch, read, and engage with. Temptation often begins with exposure. As Philippians 4:8 teaches, focus on what is pure, noble, and worthy. Fourth, practice discipline in small areas. Self-control grows through consistent effort. Fasting, prayer, and setting boundaries can help retrain your desires. These practices are deeply rooted in Catholic spirituality. Fifth, replace lust with a higher purpose. You cannot simply remove a habit, you must replace it. Channel your energy into growth, service, and meaningful goals. Seek not just success, but holiness. Remember, God does not call you to purity to restrict you, but to free you. A disciplined heart is a focused heart, and a focused heart is ready to receive greater responsibility and blessing. Here's the twist: the prosperity you've been praying for might already be within reach, but lust is blinding you to it. Because sometimes the real blessing isn't something God gives you, it's someone you become. And what if the breakthrough you're waiting for begins the moment you choose purity over temporary pleasure? If this message challenged you, take a moment today to reflect and pray. Ask God for the strength to overcome temptation and the courage to pursue a life of integrity. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every step towards purity is a step towards freedom. And if you want more content that helps you grow spiritually and live with purpose, don't forget to subscribe. Your journey towards clarity, discipline, and true prosperity starts now.